3.
Turn it up.
All right, Thursday night football. Cowboys at Bears. Over under 42.5. Cowboys are a -3 favorite. I would stick with the Cowboys on this one for the sole fact that Mitch Trubisky only had his best game of the year against the fucking Lions.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, oh, goddamn Bears, same team as last year. No. Everybody's slow the fuck down. Cowboys hadn't lost a Thursday night football game in 40 years. 40 years.
It's a nice fat toy.
Big old fat for your bitch ass. So, now you can't... Thursday night football is different from last week's game. Last week was Thanksgiving. I'm talking about this Thursday night football. So, I'm taking Cowboys outright. I'll be back. Never mind. I'm about to get pissed off. That's all, folks. But, yeah, I got Cowboys outright because Trubisky, don't really trust him. I think it'll be low scoring for sure. Because, look at both offenses. Jason Garrett, you need to take your happy ass down the road, son, with your... Every time you come off the field, get that shit out of here, son.
Yeah, I have. So I didn't know that stat you pointed out about them not losing in, what'd you say, 40 years?
40 years.
But I'd still just don't have confidence picking the Cowboys at this point. Their offense is struggling tremendously. Granted, they did play a pretty good Bills defense last week, but still, I mean, they were playing at home. Like I don't know. I mean, they don't play as well on the road. They've shown that this season. The Bears, their defense is picking it up. I mean, they had that little bit there where they just started kind of not playing as good, but past few games they've played better. So this is at the Bears. It's also, I mean, I think about weather too. It's probably going to be cold up in Chicago, and they're used to playing indoors.
Probably cold as the bitch's titty.
Yeah, and Cowboys are also going to be without their linebacker. What's his name? Leighton Vander Esch, yeah.
I will say I was skeptical about them drafting him, but proved me wrong.
Yeah.
He's a bad motherfucker.
So, having said all that, not comfortable picking the Cowboys. Definitely not comfortable picking the Bears because of Mr. Trubisky and the offense. So, yeah.
Trubisky
I looked at points. Points is 42.5.
Now, coming up, Mitch Trubisky.
I'm going to go with the under 42.5 points. But I mean, the last time I picked the under, actually last week I picked the under for them and the Lions, and they went over that. So, I mean, it was a weird weekend in rivalry week and then NFL football. But
weird.
I got the under for this game as well, 42.5.
I don't even know why I wrote this game down because both teams are in shambles. Panthers and Falcons. Falcons -2.5.
Yeah, me either.
Over under 47.5. Just gonna go on a limb and pick the Falcons outright.
That's what I did too. I had no big criteria as to why. I was just like, I don't know. Like I almost didn't want to pick in this game because I was just very conflicted. But I ended up coming up with the Falcons. Mainly because I saw one stat, and it's the fact that Kyle Allen's been struggling so bad lately. He said he just saw that he's thrown 10 interceptions and only 8 touchdowns and 5 losses of their last 6 games, and they've lost 4 games in a row. So I mean that's a big stat. I mean Atlanta's defensive line has shown that they can play. Whether they will or not, it just depends on the week, I guess. But the only reason that I question it is the fact that Julio might still be out, Austin Hooper might still be out. They're both questionable, so who knows if they'll be back in. But I still got. I mean, with the Falcons at home, I still got them outright. Definitely not going to cover 3. That's like beyond me for us to cover anything. But I would like to lose because tank, just get a good draft pick. But we'll see. I have them winning outright though.
All right, Ravens -5.5 at Bills. Over under is at 43.5. There's a video on Twitter after Lamar Jackson gave up that fumble late in the game. He kept saying, my bad. And everybody's like, nah, man, we got you. We're going to ride together. You know, they all getting together. Man, I'm riding with the fucking Ravens on that ass, son. Fuck the Bills defense, son. Ain't happening. Ravens covering. Easy. Can't touch them.
It's the Ravens. How you gonna pick against them? I got them outright. I don't have them covering the 5.5 just because the Bills defense looked really good last week. They're Josh Allen's been playing pretty great, but
he ain't ready for that defense.
Yeah, I mean I don't think he's ready for it either. But
What do you feel?
I think my more confident pick is definitely just going to be the Ravens outright because, mainly because it's at the Bills, and I don't think it really matters when it comes to covering, but especially for the Ravens. But I definitely picked them to win. I mean they're the hottest team. They're probably the favorite to win the Super Bowl. They're just a great team around Lamar centered.
You gotta stop agreeing with my. All right, Lions at Vikings -13, over under 43.5. Vikings, tough loss to the Seahawks Monday night. Kirk Cousins is a NFL record 0-8 all time on Monday Night Football. What a shitty fucking record to have for one of the most highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL. But I will say he played.
That much.
I will say he's been playing better, but I'm not going to take the Vikings on the spread.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to win, but I'm taking the over 43.5.
I think it's a good pick.
Yeah.
Especially, the defense has been struggling lately too for the Vikings. But they do better at home. That's what got me conflicted about picking the point total in this game because I also thought over, especially because how the defense has been doing, but they do better at home, and I feel like the Vikings team just as a whole just does much better at home. So I don't think they're gonna win by 13 either though. So I got the Lions covering that 13 points. I think what's the dude's name? Quarterback that's filling in now for the Lions.
It was Driscoll, but I don't know the new guy.
There's a new guy. They call him is it Duck or something like that? They call him Duck.
No,
That's not his real name.
No.
Or is that the Steelers guy?
That's Steelers guy.
Well, this guy is. His name's Blau or something. He was he's the guy from Purdue. He got he's rated as the last quarterback, but he actually played really good last week. But he played well last week against that. Well enough, I guess, against the Bears defense. I think the Lions covered 13 points. You look at all the losses that the Lions have had through this whole season, and I think the margin is maybe 5 points or something. There's never. I think the biggest margin that they lost was actually to the Vikings at home, and it was 12 points. So I think they're going to cover that 13.
Broncos at Texans. Texans -9.5. Over under 41.5. Drew Lock played pretty well in his first start, man. Last week, thought he did well. I'm gonna have to look that up right quick, son. I meant to write that shit down. Where is it at? Hold up. Sorry, folks. Yeah, they won by 3. Yeah, Drew Lock, I mean, he threw for 134 yards, but fuck it. He didn't do terrible. He was efficient. I mean, he was 18 for 28. I don't expect him to keep rolling against this defense. I think he's fucked this week. Texans proved something last week after they got embarrassed the week before by the Ravens. So I'm going Ravens.
Ravens.
I mean, shit. I'm going Texans outright. Because Broncos know how to play some defense.
Yep.
That's the only reason why.
Yep. They're ranked 9 in scoring defense and 5 in passing defense. And that's the big things for the Texans. So I also had the Texans outright. I don't see them covering 9.5 points, especially against that defense. I didn't want to pick the points either, just because who knows, it could be a defensive battle. You never know. So yeah, I just got the Texans outright in this game as well.
Chiefs at Patriots. Patriots are -3. Over under is 48.5. I am skeptical on this. The Chiefs defense is hit and miss this year. Chiefs are 8-4. They're not really the powerhouse offense like they were last year, personally. But I'm rolling with the Chiefs and Patty Mahomes. Son.
I feel like the way the Patriots have played as of lately, that is the right play.
They got no offense, son.
Yeah. But the Patriots are playing at home. They're still I think now, since they beat the Cowboys a couple weeks ago, they're 21-0 at home over the last 21 games.
Yeah.
And that's what worries me about picking the team outright against the Patriots right now. When they're playing at the Patriots. But yeah, they obviously struggle on offense. We made a point earlier. Their defense has been the thing that has kept them in games, that has kept them winning games. So given that, I think the points in this game, the point total in this game was 48.5. I got the under for that game because I think with the Patriots being at home, obviously that stat line with how many consecutive games they've won at home, I think for them to continue that streak, they got to have a big game defensively, and their offense has got to do just enough to beat the Chiefs. So I think the defense plays well, and this total goes under 48.5 points.
That's a good pick. Good pick. I would take that under too because Patriots can't fucking score.
Yeah, that too.
Steelers -2.5 at Cardinals. I don't know why the fuck I wrote this game down, but I wish we could give a round of applause to Mike Tomlin. Down to the 4th-string quarterback, sitting at 7-5.
Still got playoff.
Yeah, definitely in the wild card. Ever since the Steelers traded for Minka Fitzpatrick, the defense has fucking just been on that ass ever since week 2.
I would say Mike Tomlin, I think, is arguably at the top of the league right now, as in coach of the year.
Yeah, and
maybe not the top, but in the top 5.
And Tomlin's been there for 9 to 10 years or so. Mm-hmm. He's always had to go through the Patriots. Couldn't always get it done, so he's kind of overlooked. Damn good coach. I'm glad he's doing something well with this team. With that over-under sitting at 43, I'm going to take that under at 43. I feel like the Steelers will win, but I'm not too confident in them winning.
You say under?
Yeah, under the 43.
Yeah, that's probably a good pick. I do have the Steelers outright, just because, man, the Cardinals, they've shown light here and there, but they've lost 5 straight games, and the last one, this past week, they lost to the Rams by 27 points.
Can't bring a college coach in always.
Yeah.
They don't always work out. I mean, I know it's his first year, but
yeah, and he's trying to do big moves about taking the franchise running back and benching him. That's a little pushing it, sort of like pushing your power. But yeah, I think the Steelers win this outright. They're still fighting to keep. Have they clinched? I don't think they clinched the division or the wild card spot yet. They're just
They're still. They're in the hunt.
they have the spot right now. It's
Right.
just they gotta keep winning. I think that is like a big reason that they will win.
Well, they're
It's
still
just,
this week and then next week. Right.
I think there's
3 weeks left in the regular season.
yeah, I think there's 3 weeks left.
Fucking NFL season's so long. Jesus.
No, there's 4. 4, yeah, because our last 3 weeks in fantasy are playoffs, and we have 1 more week.
Yeah.
So, 4 weeks left. But I got the Steelers outright in this game. On to the next.
Seahawks at Rams. Over-under's 48. Seahawks are -1.
Oh, yeah. That's all
They're-
based off of...
Fucking last week's game because...
Well, no, not
Rams.
just that. When they played earlier in the season, the Seahawks won by 1 point earlier in the season when they played.
All because Goff came off of a career-high first half last week with like 328 yards. You expect me to take the Seahawks -1? Yeah, I'll take that fucking spread all day.
Absolutely.
I'm going with the Seahawks. The Rams have proved not shit to anyone all year. And they went to the Super Bowl last year. I think Jared Goff is doing the Jared Goff thing. Man, I'm taking the Seahawks -1. Son?
I also got the Seahawks. Well, I said Seahawks outright, but -1, same difference because you gotta have 1 point better to. But so yeah, Seahawks. I also have them covering. Like you said, I don't know how this is only -1. Like I said, I think it's all based off of because of how they played earlier in the season, and it was within 1. But this Rams team is not the same team, even back then. Like, I feel like they've gotten worse as the season has gone on.
Well,
Aside last week, but like when they play good teams, they're terrible.
Well, and then I got like Russell Wilson, man. The past probably month or so, he hasn't played at the MVP level.
Yeah.
So I could see it, being a -1. Because at one point, Russell Wilson was running away with the MVP race, in my opinion, over Lamar Jackson, just because he was just. He had like 1 5-yard or 5 touchdown pass game, and then another 4-yard or 4 touchdown game. I mean, I don't know if Russell Wilson comes out and plays well. I think they take this game with ease.
Yep.
And then
they've been doing a lot of running lately. Like they've been trying to force the run.
That's the offense they want to go to now. Is just pound or run, which they should with that offensive line. I mean, it's
Speaking of, I'm pissed that Jerry picked up Rashad Penny because I was going to pick him up to have because him splitting carries with Carson, like they're still putting up big numbers, both of them.
Yeah.
So like, I would take either one of them, and I was going to pick him up, but Jerry picks him up. Same thing with I picked up Fitzpatrick for I think just this week or something, and when I tried to pick him up, he gave it to Jerry instead of me, and I'm like, why? I'm pretty sure he has a better record for me now. But anyway, that's aside.
Jerry's quaking in his boots right now.
But yeah, Seahawks definitely win, definitely cover. That should be no brainer.
And since what's the name didn't pay, this past week was the one that he had to put all of his best players in to play against. Probably a good thing he didn't because he'd win the league with his lineup.
Really?
Because
Yeah, I know he has Lamar Jackson. I'm like,
oh, that ain't it, dog. He got. And on top of that, Josh Jacobs and Dalvin Cook ain't doing shit for my ass.
yeah.
Then Russell Wilson, Dalvin Cook, and Josh Jacobs was the ones putting up points for me. Like, big time.
Yeah.
And then I have no
That's like me
receivers.
now, like
I've waited
big guys,
all year for A.J. Green to come out of his ankle injury. No reason for him to play now.
Yeah.
I'm still keeping him on my fucking bench. Just in case. I've kept him on my bench all year.
Watch him play that last game.
Because
and that'd be like
some asshole, I'll drop him. He'll just somehow play, and some
Yeah.
asshole will pick him up. So I'm hoarding him.
See, I was what time I'm doing with Hooper. Like I'm holding him, and I could see Atlanta just being like, you know what, it's the end of the season. Let's not even worry about playing you. But I mean, I would hope that they will. But yeah, my whole fantasy team has done the exact same thing. I mean, Tom Brady was playing great at the beginning of the season when they had Josh Gordon and had AB at first, and he's lost both of them. So now he has nobody, and he's doing terrible. I had Dak Prescott, traded him. Probably should have kept him, but whatever. It is what it is.
Well,
then I pick up Sam Darnold after he has 3 or 4 straight weeks of him getting like high 20s, early 30 points, and then I put him in and he gets like 13.
Yeah. Can't do that.
And Tom Brady puts up like 34 the week I don't
Well,
put him in.
I will say this. Josh Jacobs had been going off, and then the fucking Raiders just got cold, like as a team, not doing shit. So shout out to fucking John Gruden. Yeah, he got beat. They didn't even score a touchdown.
Like 34-3.
Yeah.
Bad.
Fuck, I hate NFL. I hate John Gruden. Overrated ass. Fuck off. All right, got 2 more, but 49ers at Saints. Saints minus 2.5. Over under is 44.5.
Yeah.
This pick is one I would not bet on. Saints at home are always good, but 49ers can't lose this game. And I don't think the Saints have been the same with Breeze. Should have kept Bridgewater in. You should have stayed with the hot hand.
I don't know that it's that. Like I feel like it's more of like a psychological thing, really, kind of like for their defense. So their defense is what struggled lately.
Yeah, well,
and I mean their offense has too, but like just defensively, I wonder if like in their heads, like, okay, we got Breeze now, we're gonna put up points. Like we don't have to play as hard since he's back, or I mean I don't know, but yeah, I agree. They've struggled lately, on both sides of the football.
Yeah, I'm taking 49ers outright though. I don't care if it's in the NOLA. I'm taking the motherfucking 49ers because they need a win. They came up short last week. That was a shitty weather to play in Baltimore. So I think the 49ers take care of business. I think defense contains that offense. But hell, Alvin Kamara ain't the same cat as last season. So, but if you're a playoff team, now's the time to get hot and start. Because it don't matter how hot you started the season. That goes with any sport. But I got the 49ers, man. And they seem to kind of be descending down, but I'm still going to roll with them.
Yep. I am going with the Saints.
Fuck
outright.
Off, son. No shot, son.
The 49ers,
that shit is
their
fucking water,
their offense struggles on the road. And I mean, I feel like New Orleans is one of like the best home field advantages in the NFL. Last week they scored less than 21 for the 3rd time in the last 4 games. The 49ers did, and that was at Baltimore. And the Saints are also playing for the number 1 spot in the NFC in this game. I think that.
Who over the Seahawks?
Yeah,
the Seahawks.
Yeah, because they had the outright win against the Seahawks earlier this season. So both of them having 2 losses. So I mean, if they win, they got number 1 spot in the NFC for home field advantage. I think that the fact plus the fact that they're at home, the crowd's going to be that much more into it. I think the Saints win this. It may be super close, but I think they'll pull it off in the end. Also, I think the fact that the 49ers went from playing at Baltimore, then now they're going down at the Saints. I just think that travel and the 2 teams, like that's 2 really good teams they haven't played against. I think that might wear a little bit on their defense. So that's my pick because the Saints outright.
Great pick.
Even though you picked the other direction.
Fuck off, Rocky. All right, Monday Night Football, Giants and Eagles. Eagles minus 8.5. Over under is 46.5. If you're a betting man, this is a division game. Both teams absolutely fucking suck. So that's to say the least. You can't really harp too much on this. Eli Manning's probably going to start because
That's all that. Yeah.
Daniel Jones is hurt. Not that that's going to make much of a difference. Eagles' defense is pretty solid this year. They've shown.
Except last week.
Yeah, well last week. Which they played very well.
Lose to a Dolphins team. And they're fighting for a playoff spot. And you lose to a Dolphins team. Like, it's their schedule, or it's like their spot to lose pretty much against, like,
for sure,
versus the Cowboys, and yet they lose to a Miami team last week. In that type of instance, oh man, that was bad.
And the Dolphins, whole shit. I can't believe they won 3 games.
Yeah.
That is a shit show down there in South
Patrick ate up that Philadelphia defense.
Man,
It ended up with negative one on fantasy.
Son.
Ended up with -1 on fantasy because of that. On my defense, anyways.
Giants, sorry. I get to hear Booger McFarland bitch about how sorry y'all are. Going with the Eagles outright because I'm not fooling with the spreads on this bitch. No shot.
You and me both. I got Eagles outright. Can't trust that spread. Can't trust the Eagles with any kind of points unless if it's just to win.
Colin's copying me because his NFL record sucks balls.
Nah, I got my own picks always. You see, I got mine circled every single week. It ain't my fault if you look over and you see a couple that you take.
Nah, I go as I don't pre-pick my shit. I wait because you never know what you might see before the show.
So you just take a mental note of it. I got all my factoids listed out so I can talk.
What
to
if you
it
come across
and
another
show,
factoid
and show
before
the
the
fans
show?
and show the audience
Here we
all
go.
the credibility
Here we go.
and why they should pick that one.
Anyways,
I got the Eagles outright.
You got a fucking wise
obviously,
guy. Hey, yo,
obviously the Eagles defense got torched by the Dolphins.
Fucking wise guy over here.
I don't think the Giants will torch anyone, but I do think the Eagles will win outright because they're still going to be fighting for the playoff. Maybe.
Who wants to lose the most in that?
And they're also at home. The Eagles play better at home, so I'll give them that.
What is that, NFC North or South?
It's not South.
No, it's going to be North. Hold on.
No, I think it's like East. I mean, not East.
Because I'm a cow.
South is with the Saints and the Falcons.
So it's got to be North. I can't remember. Not East. NFC East.
It is East, okay.
Alright, so basically NFC East sucks ass.
Who else do they have besides the Cowboys? And
Redskins.
Oh.
Redskins got 3 dubskis, son.
But, anyways, Eagles outright. That's our picks.
Redskins gonna win that bitch. Just kidding.
That's all we got.
What an easy ass division this year.
Oh, no.
Fucking horrible. But I guess that's all we got, man. I know it was a slow week. Kind of slow. Still hungover from the holidays.
Championship week.
Yep.
Ain't many games.
Not many games. We will switch over from sports to fucking retarded shit for long. Bullshitting about God knows what. But we still got the NFL. You know, for who gives a fuck. I give a fuck. And then we'll have our bowl games, all that.
Yeah. But hey, we'll figure something out. So y'all keep tuning in.
Keep tuning in, and we still got shirts for sale. If you don't buy none, then fuck you. Kind of like Ricky Bobby and Big Red Gum. But I probably shouldn't say that.
Dude, that was so funny.
All right, cool. says the guy who looks like Jake Gyllenhaal. But
Sorry, I don't know who that is.
Brokeback Mountain.
Sorry, I never watched that.
Me either.
No, joke's on you. All right.
Well, Colin's such a cock gobbler. He didn't even catch it. But I'm going to head out on that one like SpongeBob. This is A-Mac, and he's out.
You ain't back?
I ain't back until next week. Peace.
All right.